Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to lesson 2 of the Fiqh course. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa afdal salati wa atammu taslim ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barak wa sallam. Now we've looked at the 7 types of water, the 7 areas where water comes from the heavens, from the sky above, and from below. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made sources of water. So today we're going to be looking at the next part of the text, which says the water is of 4 categories, and this is طاهر, مطهر, مطهر, غير مقروء. We have طاهر, مطهر, مقروء. So we'll look at these 2 first. And طاهر, water, is pure water. So all those 7 categories that we mentioned, they're all pure sources. That you do wudu with any of those waters from the ocean. It's salty, but it doesn't matter, that's pure water. To do wudu with it will be permissible, it will be correct. To do it from the river, to do it from, this is wudu, we're not drinking here, we're talking about just doing wudu, performing ablution, or also having a purificatory bath. Malthus, hailstone water, we collect hailstone water or rain, and from the well, we use this water to perform wudu, all correct. So this is now, so that's the tahir part, that's all the pure water, but now we're going to look into 4, all water will kind of come into these 4 categories. So the first category is mutahhir as well. So both of these are mutahhir as well, which is pure and purifying. Water is that substance, is that liquid, that amazing subhanallah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made, that a large amount of it, as you will see later on, a large amount of it kind of cleans itself, it purifies itself, unlike any other kind of liquid or substance. Purifying, mutahhir. And then the only difference for the first 2 categories is one is makruh, which is disliked, and one is not disliked. Not disliked. Disliked. Okay, so this first part is absolute water. Okay, it's purely water and nothing else. It is pure. It is purifying, so it satisfies all the condition to perform wudu with it. Absolute water. The second one is just disliked at the end, and this is water that is in a pipe, like a metal pipe that has been heated by the sun. So sun heated water. In Fiqh books it mentions the sun heated water, it is kind of making it really warm. Sometimes it takes, so what it does, it takes off the effects from the pipe, the copper pipe, metal pipe, and then it puts it mixes it and merges it in with the water. This leads to like leprosy, like ill health, and that's why it's disliked as well. So the main cure for this in hot countries, we talk about mainly hot countries where this whole thing would be about. Cold countries as well, in terms of the opposite. If it's freezing cold water coming through the pipes in the winter time, it would be again disliked. It would be makruh. In both cases, really hot water because of the sun on the pipe, or freezing cold water, the cold pipes, it's icy water, to do wudu with it. So that's the second type. It's pure, it's purifying, but it's disliked to use to do wudu. What's the solution? In the hot country, let it cool down, and in the cold countries, let it get to room temperature or heat it up, and then be able to use it. So that's a solution for that, a simple solution for that, but that's just its own different category. And finally the last two, we have number 3. We have Tahir. We have the pure. But we have غير مطهر. طاهر غير مطهر. Pure but not purifying. Not purifying. So you understand the point with pure and purifying. This can be used for other things. Can you use to wash clothes? Yeah, if it's really hot or really cold, you wouldn't wash your clothes, but to touch your skin and your body. But to use it on to wash clothes with it, or for any other kind of purpose, that would be you'd be able to do it to make to make tea or anything else. Just generally speaking, you're able to use it for other things because it is pure. It's just makruh, disliked for actually performing wudu with it or ghusl with it, because now you're touching it on the limbs and it can have some damaging effect. And the third one, which is pure, not purifying. So this is now again pure water, but it's not purify anything. Now, one thing this category is they say is used water. And when I mean used water, it's water you've already performed ghusl with or wudu with. Now, we will come to the sunnahs of the wudu later on, and one of the first aspects of performing ablution. But when you perform any aspect for the Shafis, it's the face that is first, for example, and the hands to the elbows. The first time you wash it, that is that first part. So when the first time you wash that face, the water that drips out, it's like as if it's taking away your sins. So to use that water again for wudu, it's not purifying. That's why I say it's غير مطهر. You wouldn't use it again. The second time you do it on your face, now this is the sunnah one, because to wash your face 3 times, to wash your hands up to your elbows 3 times. The first time is that wajib part, obligatory part, and that's what it's like taking away your the sins, removing all that remnant. So the second time, that water that you put on your face is like a sunnah type. That water is not considered used water. Yeah, we say musta'mal, used. So we'll come to see that differentiation later on. But the point is, in Yemen, they had it's sunnah to try and conserve, to not waste water, not to exceed in things, and not to be wastage in things. It's to be in the middle, moderate path in many things in life, as Islam teaches us. So when we use water for wudu, we can do the first part. So they have like 2 sinks. So let's say you have 2 sinks. They have a system in Yemen. So when you do wudu, on the first sink, you wash your face the first time. That's that used water. It's gone down the thing. The second time you use it, and the third time you use it, second time and third time, you're using it and you collect it because it's used water. Sorry, it's not used water. The used water is that first one, that first obligatory one that you did. So the second one and the third one, it's purifying. It's not غير مطهر. That first one was غير مطهر, not purifying. So this can be collected, it can be used again. It can be used. It has a system that you can use it again and so forth. So they have like a conservation of water, and how in such hot countries it's very important to and any time you should try and not waste water as it is anywhere. We have the luxury of taps and all that, but we should be conserving things. This is that going extra and full of rewards for that as well. So this is used water that is not purifying. And the second part of this, used water is one section, the other one is altered water, changed water. So anything that's changed. Now water, if the taste, smell, and the look the taste, smell, if any of those the color, sorry, the color. If the color changes of the water, it's not going to be purifying. If the taste, smells changes, it's not going to be purifying, and the smell changes, it's not going to be purifying. So to just bear that in mind, that that type of water that has changed whatever way, do not use that for wudu. It is not purifying. It's pure, but it's not purifying. An example is rose water. So rose water is it water? It's not water. It's water. It's rose water. It has got that restriction that it's rose water. When you say bring me water, is someone going to bring you rose water? It's not the case. So when you ask for water, people will bring you water, whether it's from the well, whether it's from wherever it may be, but understanding that that's termed as water. So this is where it's altered water, and it has changed, and because it's changed, it's not purifying anymore. Only water in its pure sense, like we said in here, absolute water is purifying. This one, just because of its sense of it's been heated up, or it's been just really cold, it's makruh. And we've seen the solution for that. So number 3 is the one we would not use for wudu. And finally, the last one we have is not pure anymore. So all of these had the same quality of being pure. This one is now najis. This is impure water. This is filthy water, impure. So it's changed completely. Now here we have two parts, that we have a small vessel, and we have a vessel that approximately is like a cube, 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters by going in depth 60 centimeters roughly, or like 2 wheelie bins. And so it's a kullatain. It's a measure of water, an amount, the amount of water that it's a huge amount. So we have two kind of scenarios. If anything impure was to fall into a little amount of water, and generally speaking we'll be dealing with little water. If we had a bowl of water and some impurity went inside, straight away that is considered filthy water, because of its it's less, and it hasn't got that, it's not that big amount that has that ability to fight and cleanse itself like pure water does. Only when it's more than the amount 60 by 60 by 60, that kind of liter of water, that it has this, if something impure goes onto it, it will still be able, you will still be able to use, unless it comes so much, you'll be able to perform wudu with it. But this, even a little bit of impurity comes in it, it would be not, it won't satisfy the conditions of being able to use it for, well, really anything, because it's impure. Something like urine is going to, something like feces, something blood, or very like things like someone's vomit, something. So very dirty things has changed completely. It doesn't have to change completely, just a little bit of it going inside will be considered that the whole thing is impure. The only exception for the small one is if it's little insects that do not carry blood, so like bees and flies and these small things, if they go into it, we're not talking about huge amounts of them going in it, but if just a few got it, one goes in it, just to take them out, and that water then is not going to be considered impure. So these are the 4 categories that I wanted to show today, which is the next part of the text. Pure water, purifying, not disliked; pure, purifying, disliked; pure, not purifying; and finally impure water, and you can see the examples that we've had for those. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم.